Situations Podcast. You know we're going to talk about it.
I can't believe this woman's mouth. Anyway,
I can. RuPaul says it all the time on the Drag Race, but anyway.
So, welcome back to the Situations Podcast, where we talk about the stories that make us think, ask questions, and sometimes leave us searching for answers. I recently watched the Breakfast Club interview with civil rights attorney Ben Crump, and the one thing that stood out to me was, regardless of your politics or personal beliefs, these families all have one thing in common, and they're looking for answers. Here are some of the things that he discussed in there. He discussed Nolan Xavier Wells, which we'll get into that, Kadar Skinner, Daniel Irwin, and Coheem Wiley. Why do I bring up all these names? Because he said that it was strangely peculiar that all of them was unalive somewhere in and around July 4th. These are all Black people, and they're all in the Mississippi and Alabama area. So I know we want to talk about Nolan mostly, but it's a bigger subject that we gotta kind of address here. So before we get started, what's going on, Damon?
Not much, Frank. How we feeling tonight? I'm excited to be here for episode 4 of the Situations Podcast.
Kim Joe?
All is well. Can't complain. Can't call it.
And we got Denise back with her blurry camera. That's right. You gonna get camera clown.
Is it blurry? Hold on. Okay.
Now, how you doing, Denise?
Denise, you coming in crystal clear now. Good job. Good job.
Thank you, baby. I just wanted to make sure. I'm good. I'm good, Jay. How are you?
Good. So let's go ahead and jump into Daniel. I mean, give us your thoughts on this. Where you at on all this?
I mean, I think that there's a common theme here, right? Just not only Nolan, not only also the other names that you shared with us. Oh, that that people who were unalived over that particular weekend. There's a long history of people that look like us being killed. I think that there are a lot more questions than there are answers with respect to Nolan Wells, and I'd love to hear. I feel so bad that I am not familiar with the other names that you shared. Obviously their stories are just as tragic, so I would definitely need to do some research on those other names. But there are definitely more questions than answers where Nolan is concerned right now.
Right. So before we get into it, let's just give everybody a little bit of background. All right. So with Nolan, 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells disappeared during a July 4th boating trip near Horn Island, Mississippi. 2 days later, his body was found in the water. Then we got Kadar Skinner. 19-year-old Kadar Skinner was shot by a Wilmington, Delaware police officer during a foot pursuit. Police officers say they believe he was armed. All right. Then we got Daniel Irwin. 18-year-old Daniel entered the Lake Ray Hubbard in Texas with 2 other teenagers and never came home. Authorities ruled his death an accidental drowning. His family questions those conclusions. And then we got, how y'all say Kohen?
Kohen.
Cohen.
Yeah.
A one-year-old was killed when Mississippi police officers fired into a vehicle outside a Walmart during a alleged shot incident. That's starting to come back, right?
I remember that.
Because they said that the mom went in and stole some diapers. And so as she was driving away, the police was called, and they shot into the car and unalived a baby. Yep. And then she lost her intestines, so she's still in critical condition.
So since when do you shoot to kill for shoplifting? Since when?
I mean, when you're black.
Yeah. You know what I'm remembering?
When you're
that
black.
Story is very similar to, I think it was like around the whole Rodney King incident. It may have been before. It was a girl that went in to a store, and I think this was in LA. It was some sort of Asian market. And I think that the lady working there thought she was stealing. I think they got to arguing. Excuse me if I'm not remembering all the details correctly, but she ended up killing the young lady. So I mean,
Shot the
this is
girl in the back of the head.
yeah,
Yeah, she shot her. Yeah, she
long
shot her in the back of the head, and didn't serve any time.
not one time, not one day.
No,
Denise,
no,
why you
not
so
one
black?
day.
You lost your picture. Where you go?
Why you so black?
Oh, I don't know. Well, you know, I
Did you
love being black,
accidentally turn your
but
camera off, or did you go all black for
I haven't.
solidarity?
That's what I was thinking.
I haven't hit anything. Hold on, front camera. You know what? I can't
Right?
stand y'all some days.
Should we all go black? I don't.
Should we all go black?
I've been
Okay,
black.
so that's
There you
the
go. Now
dashboard.
turn it around.
That's the dashboard. You getting there? You getting there?
Okay.
Come on, Nisi.
Hey now.
Am I back?
Hey, all right.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what happened. Nothing happened. I've always been here.
Well, you cleaned your lens, and then we loved it, and then you
Yeah.
were like,
You know,
I'm
but you
done.
know, I love being black. So, you know, I'm okay with being
Okay.
being black.
Okay.
So
Well,
But yeah, but
my concern with the Nolan Wells thing is the stories just keep changing.
yeah.
And
Well, I
then
was
they prefaced it in the beginning. One of the kids is a kid of a judge, and somehow
Mhm.
that judge got involved in the situation somehow. I'm just like, what?
I think all of them have attorneys. Like they came home and seemed to immediately get representation, right?
Well, I'm going to say this. Now, I agree with them getting their attorneys or their lawyers. I agree with them getting lawyered up because somebody's going to turn on somebody could lie, and blame. So I do believe in protecting yourself. However, it brings me back to what my dad has always told me. White people will stand behind white people, right or wrong, 10 toes down.
Yeah.
And for them to not think that mother of Nolan would happen to her child, that's just wrong.
What's crazy is
That's just absolutely wrong.
your
She wants to
scream.
know what happened to her child, just as if something had happened to any one of those boys.
Absolutely.
Their moms would want to know what happened to my son. She deserves to know that.
Absolutely. Okay.
Did Jay take us out? What are we?
No, he
No,
took you
no,
out.
man.
You took yourself out again.
Yeah, I'm
Did
not
Jay take us out?
Nisi. You
Yeah,
can't
you
be
took
judging
yourself
your own
out.
self. Maybe you
My
need to put
phone's
the
on.
phone. Do you have the phone in your hand? Hello?
Oh, Nat, Jay, really?
What is
Hold
happening?
on. I'm working on
Did Frank
something.
take us out?
No, you just big.
He trying to get everybody.
Where did
So
everybody go?
so of course
Okay.
I'm down south
Stay in Portugal.
Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me? I'm down
Oh.
south with my family, and this subject
Yeah.
came up,
Yeah.
and it's always, we give one side of it, that your spotter senses are tingling in these certain situations. I think we talked about this last week, Damian and Kim, about the whole situation of when do you understand that some places aren't the right places for you? You know what I'm saying? Some places aren't the right places for you. And I feel like, with Nolan, when they went out together on the boat, like he should not have been there. But maybe the way he was raised, it was okay.
Right.
For him, that's just seeing this. But what gives me a headache right now is I'm riding home from vacation and I put on the Breakfast Club with Ben Crump, and he goes through these cases. And here it is. I didn't hear about the other two.
Yeah.
And so I went and had a conversation with my best friend, ChatGPT, and I said, hey, summarize the Ben Crump thing. All right, the interview with the Breakfast Club. ChatGPT gave me 2 different interviews with other names. Shanquilla Robinson, Dominique Moody, and Shania Cheatham, and William McNeil Jr.
Okay, let me go.
And William McNeil Jr. is from my hometown. And he was pulled from his car and beaten by the Jacksonville sheriff's deputies during a traffic stop after asking to speak with a supervisor. He asked to speak with the supervisor and they proceeded to beat him.
Yeah, what's the
It's a lot of static.
That's
Flag
Niecy.
that's
on the play.
Niecy.
That's Niecy. Well, her raggedy phone. I muted her. I'll say it again. William McNeil Jr., a black student, was pulled from his vehicle and beaten by the Jacksonville Sheriff Department during a traffic stop after asking to speak with the supervisor. And so Ben Crump, their firm is representing these different people in their cases. And I was like, we're just getting what's hot in the big news. You know what I'm saying? We ain't getting all the stuff. And to me, and then, with the ICE stuff, we're getting like onesie and twosies, but here it is. We're still behind the scenes, kind of getting the same treatment that we always got. And I just thought that was crazy. And to say this to anybody that's listening to what we're saying is this is the reason why we needed to bring these issues to a national level, a government level, because they was telling us that there is no racism and that these things wasn't happening. These was onesies and twosies, but right now in this year, in the last 2 months, we got 8 instances, 8 already. So how many
those
do we
are just
have?
the ones that are known, right?
Right.
Can you imagine how many more are not? And the only way we do find out about them is maybe the parents or the loved ones of the individuals impacted go to like social media, and somehow it gets picked up at some point.
Right, but I'm pretty sure, kind of like what we was talking about with the whole situations thing, getting the algorithm or our audience finding us. Why have we found that one person, those 2 people or 5 people that's doing this tracking right there? I'm pretty sure somebody out there saying, hey, this happened, this happened, this happened. But I was kind of sad. When y'all started texting about the show, I was just kind of like, do you want to talk about this? This is terrible. But it needs to be out. It needs to be out.
It needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about.
I mean, that's part of our reality, right? Living while Black, right? Not all of us make it home, unfortunately, when you go out just about your day. I saw a video earlier on TikTok. I think the person's name is Dominic Morgan. And I've actually seen a few videos around the idea that Nancy Grace has now picked up on Nolan's case. And it just it led to a discussion with respect to communication, reach, and race, right? When you have people with much larger platforms that pick up on things and that can push it out to a wider market.
I heard you, Damien.
I heard you.
Distracted.
I'm not distracted. I'm trying to fix the stuff. No, I heard everything you said, and you're correct. You're correct.
I had another thought, and the thought was gone because I got distracted.
But
she can't concentrate, but on one thing at a time now.
I got the ADHD. Come on, now. I mean, he does too.
My bad, yo.
Yeah, see. Now I done forgot. Excuse me, y'all, if I bust in with my thought that I have lost and it comes back in some way.
Hey,
listen, blurt it out.
It's work. You can. You have a free pass. You have a true free pass. So in me reading these things, let me tell you about a fear that I had. So when was coming back from Warner Robins, wifey wanted the 16-year-old to get his driver's time, so she wanted him to drive in the morning, for like 2 hours. The first thing that came to my head was, what if we get stopped?
Yeah.
And he's in the driver's seat. And then how I got to react, I don't want that to happen. So I was like, maybe he should drive in an area that we're more comfortable in. And after I slept on him a little bit, I was like, he needed training, but at the same time, I have that fear as a parent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't have this fear as a parent, but it's apparently here.
Yeah.
You know, even if you driving the speed limit, you stopping at all stop signs, you say yes sir, no sir, they're still liable to pull you out of the car and lie about it. And that's what's going on with Nolan's case. They're lying about stuff.
Yep.
And the other thing is too that Ben Crump pointed out is that for each one of these cases, they're being very hestant and giving up the cam.
I heard
cam.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
All the cases, but he also pointed out too, on the flip side, to say that if they had done nothing wrong and it was the person's fault, or the black person's fault, they would have had that video up and out and already.
Mhm.
But when it's
Absolutely.
their fault, we're hesitant to give it out. So that's what's kind of going on with most of the cases. And the parents got to call in, the community got to call in, and everybody got to call in to get the camera video stuff released. And that's crazy.
Yeah. And didn't they flew the body, right?
They threw the body here for the second autopsy,
Yeah.
the independent autopsy.
Yeah. It's just, the things that you have to go through to advocate, to find out what happened to your child it is just beyond me to think, what that family and all families that are in those positions, must go through.
There's foul play. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah.
There's foul play.
Yeah.
It's somewhere, somebody, I saw some evidently bogus report that the autopsy came back saying he had some kind of drug in his system, some kind of like poison kind of thing. I'm like, what?
Right.
They're 18 and 19. Who's doing that?
Right.
And then we know as Black people, you come back with who you left with.
First of all, you don't need
separation.
Right. One band, one sound.
Yep.
That's
I
how
don't care
it
if you
is.
do. Tell that boo to come on with you.
Yeah.
Because
We
we
all-
all leaving together.
Yes. Yeah.
Or catch up with her or him later.
Yeah.
You know, and Jay, to your point, I still have that fear for my son, who is 30, that he'll get it because he has he's been pulled over. That just one time something could go awry. And I'm getting a call. And he's 30. He's a grown man.
But there's plenty of evidence, right?
This is true.
To tell you why you should be concerned.
Yep.
There's
So,
more
like,
than plenty of evidence. There's craziness going on right now. And
Let me tell you, they pulled my daughter on Whitehurst Freeway. Damien, I'm sure you know. Nisi, I don't know where you live, but on Whitehurst Freeway, which is highly populated, no shoulder, they pulled her over one time for nothing. Put her on the side, on the shoulder, outside of her Jeep. By herself.
That's crazy.
Female.
Yeah.
A female.
I mean, I think
She said, "Mom, I was not speeding." It's like,
most of the time, I try to rationalize what's really going on, because I feel like they only pulling over certain types of Black people. They ain't pulling over the thugs.
but
They ain't going around this neighborhood.
But how do you even figure out like kind of what the trend, what the pattern is, other than we all have the same skin
I feel like the ones who are mostly shot are what's the word? I want to say dormant. The ones who don't cause trouble. The ones who are just doing what they're supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's who you pulling over. That's who you messing with. I mean,
So
for
all of
somebody to
us. Essentially,
for somebody to simply ask for who's your supervisor, and you pull me out and beat me down,
Right.
like that's crazy. Or better yet, like Kim was saying, some Pampers.
Yeah.
Like when did you start And then so the
Shooting
police
people for
officers,
shoplifting.
Yeah.
right? So the police officers reported that they was in fear for their life. But then, as Ben Crump said, the bullet came in from the side of the car. So, what, it was driving sideways? We don't know. So here we are again, just talking about this stuff. And
fear for your life from a mother who just stole some Pampers.
And you have the gun. You have the weapon.
Right. And she's in her car.
Right. But when you think about people that don't look like us who are out here causing atrocities, right? They're shooting up churches. Somehow they manage to make their way all the way to the jail with unharmed.
That's that YT.
Yeah. Yeah. Or translucent. And that's kind of translucent people.
Yep.
right. All right. And so I don't even know what to say. This right here just it saddens me over and over again, which kind of brings me into the next subject that I definitely want to talk about next week. Do y'all have flock cameras in y'all areas?
What do you?
They got cameras. Huh?
Like neighborhood cameras?
Yeah. So
I've been hearing about this. You mean like the security cameras?
Yeah, they putting solar powered cameras in different places. It's big here in PA, in different places, so they can monitor people who are speeding, people who are doing stuff wrong or whatever. And so here in this little small town that I'm in, you have people tearing down the cameras.
Really?
Yeah, you got these little groups. They got them, and they tearing down the cameras, and it's hilarious to see them talking about, I want privacy, I want this, y'all are invading my space and all this kind of stuff. But then I had put on one of my boys' thing. I was like, well, doesn't this help us out? Because he's a brother that's tracking it. But then we know that the YT people are the one that's going to tear the cameras down. And so when they tear the cameras down, so at first they're up on some little poles in the ground. People run them over or whatever. Now they putting them up on the high thick poles or the high metal poles with a different stacked up. They being tore down, but are for Black people, is this better for us for stuff to be monitored?
But we're already monitored. I mean, in a sense of like when you think about privacy, I mean, we've got all these devices and technology. Like we know we gave up at least a modicum of privacy to have these things, right?
Right.
So how much privacy, I think at this point, do we actually really have?
Right. So I just want to say this. Flock Hopper explores 90,000 plus surveillance cameras and build privacy first routes across the United States. So it feeds all into one system.
Sure does.
The other thing, because I want to like next time we get ready, we talk to kind of have this as a subject, because in China, everything is monitored. If you on the street, you monitor. It don't matter. It all feeds into one system. But with America, we're against that. But at the same time, who's the administration right now? And it's being allowed. Like my town is a red state, red town. And so when are you going to look back at your people and say, hey, listen, y'all need to stop this? But they haven't their little mini protest by knocking the cameras down. And for me, every time I see a camera knocked down, as I told them, that's our taxpayer dollars.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what they're paying for this with. So anyways, that's what I wanted to say. Like, I feel like we kind of need this monitoring and to have access to it. So when something happens to our Black boys and Black girls, we can actually go and say, hey, don't worry about it, Mr. Policeman. You don't have to get nothing for us. We'll just get it from Flock. Flock might charge $100. Okay, we got it.
But I also feel like it's like, so who's monitoring Flop?
That's a good one.
Right? It's almost, to me, it's like, I don't know, like, I see, and I know we're definitely going to have like a full-on conversation about this next episode. I think that's what I heard you say. So I would love to definitely do a deep dive into this, because you see like more personal vehicles with cameras in them.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can put, you can wear devices now if depending on what you're doing. So I feel like the smarter move is to have things that you own that are also recording versus relying on some of these devices that are out here to monitor the public at large and thinking that they're gonna benefit you if something happens.
I cannot disagree with that. Also, I would like to add into that with Nolan and listening to his case, listening to Ben Crump. They said the video footage is still coming forward from different sources.
Mm.
So, for us to have these things right now on us is a plus. When people say, well, the phone is taken away from this and this and this, nah, actually it's enhanced, because if we didn't have this stuff, it would be worse.
Right.
Yeah,
and the youngins, they video everything.
Yes. Yes.
They video everything. And I'm dying to hear, because I have not heard it yet. They said there's the audio out of an argument that he was having with one of the other boys prior to, I think, getting on the boat, either coming back or going over. Evidently, there was some kind of disagreement.
I did hear about that. I think, didn't they had some sort of video, at least I saw today, of what looked like him. I don't know if he was on the boat, but it was like a bunch of people. I think this is before they went to the island. So I think that was at least what I saw today. Mm-hmm. And I think you're right. It's still obviously information that needs to be reviewed.
And then I was just wondering, how did his phone end up in one place and then another place?
That by itself is suspicious. Yes.
Because they had it. They took his phone. Whoever did what they did knew what they had did and was trying to cover their tracks. And it's going to come out. It's going to come out. Long as the family and these attorneys keep pushing, it's going to come out. And when it comes out, we'll be here to listen to him make all the excuses in the world for him. He had mental health issues. The person who did it had mental health issues. Right. He had family problems. No.
Ultimately, it's going to be what are the consequences once the actual story comes out?
That's
right?
What you want to hear.
Yeah.
That's what you want to hear. So I got one more thing, and then we can, if you want, we can close it up. Did y'all hear Big Orange? Because I don't say his name. Was it Friday night or was it Thursday night when he was talking about China rigged the election for 2020?
Oh, this was his speech, right? That
a lot of people didn't watch it. A lot of people, in fact,
it wasn't aired on a lot of channels either.
Yeah.
But he made some bold claims. He made some bold accusations. He said Venezuela's voting system was tampered with, so therefore ours is tampered with. It can't be trusted. And like they are fake. And who is it? Homeland Security? No, the FBI and the CIA is going to release information tonight to show you the 2.2 million people that committed fraud. And man, this dude he's trying to get ahead of them losing in November. He's trying either he's trying to get ahead of it to say that we lost because there's voter fraud, or he's trying to he's trying to stop the voting process altogether by saying that
he wants to federalize it. I mean, I think he's creating two paths, so if one fails, he'll go to the other.
He made some bold claims, and I can only see him and his posse like, hey, y'all stole in November. Like, dude, shut up.
Again, we keep feeling it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because even today, I just go to this and then I shut up. We went to the so yesterday we came in, gas was $3.65. I remember this, $3.65 to $3.69 while we was driving back. So I said to myself, I'm gonna put the good stuff in here. I'm gonna go up to the second level. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the good stuff in. We go to the grocery store and come back. Gas is $4.15. How do you go from $3.65 to $4.15 in less than 12 hours? So then I get back and I look and I was like, oh, we're at war still.
Yeah,
but you
we're back at war.
So
we're back at war.
So
I mean, it stopped, it started, it stopped, it started.
But have you heard, I think it was somebody on Fox News that was like, I don't understand how we're still at war when every time the Orange Man comes on, he's saying they're like, we're devastating them, right? We're decimating them, rather.
We put them back into the Stone Age.
Right.
He has no mental capacity. Everything I've seen doctors saying he has frontal
Yes.
lobe something, dementia. Yes. The dude is not well.
So then it's three things. It's three things we probably need to discuss. The plot cameras, definitely. We need to talk about Mitch McConnell.
Is he still alive?
So, hold on. I'm not messing with you, man. This man on his we don't know what's going on. If they transfer his lizard body into his regular body, we don't know. But yeah,
we got that propped up. We got that propped up photo.
With Lindsey Graham, did they do the whole sunken thing on him? What's happening?
Can we talk about Lindsey's sister is taking his seat?
Yep.
We definitely got to talk about that next week.
So that's it. Those will be the ones. Flock cameras, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and the sister. And then
but wait, also I'm really curious about what you all think about the idea that Pete Hegseth came out with this announcement that they're going to start testing men in the military for their testosterone.
Their testosterone. They got to be real men.
This is crazy. So we have to talk about that.
So is that gender affirming care that he was so against? That's what that is. Gender affirming care that they were so against.
Well, I'm sure they rationalized it for this.
Yeah. Like you couldn't do nothing if you wanted a sex change or if you wanted teeth whitening and that kind of stuff. They don't do. Breast enhancements, none of that stuff. I'm trying to think one more was big because I think I want one whiter teeth or something. And they come tell me that by next week. But so that's 20 minutes.
All right, and I really would love as a vet, right? I would be so curious, right? To hear your perspective. Like if you were in the military now, this is what they were proposing. Like what rights do military members have if they are not interested in this? They made it seem voluntary. I'm not even. We'll be talking about this next episode. So
definitely, I'm gonna put the question out on Facebook and see if any vets want to come on.
Yes, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody that's currently in want to come and talk about it, we'll get that set up.
Yeah.
Right, so, Damia, if you would like to close it out.
Okay, y'all. Until next time, it's been great. Stay rooted, stay real, and handle your situations.
Situations Podcast. You know we're going to talk about it.